News from the city's west side, where police are involved in a standoff with a shooting suspect.
Japhanie Gray joins us live from General Bragg Street. Jeff, what can you tell us?
Yes, guys, with limited details, we do know that one person was taken to the hospital with an injury from a shotgun blast. Now, we've been pushed back, but if you look behind me, you'll see that this street has been lined with first responders. But this is what it looked like up close. Again, we know that a shooting is what caused this high police presence. We learned that someone shot a shotgun at a home and returned back to their home. When police arrived, they found a home with bullet holes and a victim inside with a minor injury from that shotgun blast. Now, a captain is on scene. We'll be providing details as soon as possible. We're just going to still be out here monitoring the location. But again, what we do know is that one person has barricaded themselves inside of a home. As soon as those details become available, we'll be sure to bring that to you. But for right now, I'll send it back to the desk.
Jeff DeGray reporting live for us. Thank you. It began as an attempted traffic stop in the 6500 block of Westfield that led to a chase and ended with a BCSO deputy shooting a suspect.
This marks the second BCSO deputy shooting in less than 24 hours, according to Sheriff Javier Salazar. Our Stephen Cavazos brings us those details.
It was a busy, few, and dangerous 12 hours for Bexar County deputies. Shots fired twice and two suspects wounded. Sheriff Javier Salazar on the scene of the latest shooting. And again, a deputy pulled the trigger. This all unfolded Saturday night. According to Salazar, two traffic deputies spotted a man driving 80 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. Salazar says the deputies attempted to stop the vehicle, but the driver led them on a chase. The suspect then got out of the car, and the sheriff says pulled out what deputies believed was a gun and pointed in their direction before taking off again.
During that pursuit, in the ensuing minutes, the suspect continued to point that weapon out the driver's side window back at the deputies.
The chase continued until the driver stopped at Westfield and Military and pointed the weapon again. That led one deputy to fire several shots. The man struck once and transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Salazar says the weapon wasn't real.
A dangerous game that this young man was playing, and just lucky for him, he didn't pay for that with his life.
This is the third shooting for Bexar County deputies and the fourth for local law enforcement in less than a week. Last Tuesday, 48-year-old Felix Santos died after leading deputies on a chase in Atascosa and Bexar counties. Last Wednesday, 26-year-old Eric Mejia was fatally shot by San Antonio police outside South Park Mall. Chief William McManus says Mejia was armed and raised his gun in the direction of officers before they fired. And earlier Saturday, BCSO deputies opened fire on a shooting suspect at a home in the 2600 block of Muddy Peak. That suspect injured and later arrested. Salazar says it's been a difficult week for law enforcement in our area.
And I'm afraid it's going to continue to happen. We had hoped that it was a short-lived uptick, but at this point it does seem like it's trending upward.
Salazar says the driver that was injured in the latest shooting is 19 years old and could possibly face 2 aggravated assault charges and evading arrest. Now, deputies did notice that the license plate and vehicle did not match. They suspect that vehicle could have been stolen. Reporting outside the Bexar County Jail, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, we now know the name of a man who was killed last night in a fatal accident on the west side. San Antonio police say 33-year-old Juan Meza was trying to run across Culebra near Bandera when the driver hit him with their truck. Officers tell us he was not in a crosswalk when he tried to cross the roadway. The driver of that truck did stop to help. The victim taken to University Hospital, where he later died.
The parents of 2 children are in their hospital after a mother lost control of their vehicle. Bexar County deputies say the family of 4 was traveling south on Highway 16 around 1 this morning when she veered into a grassy median. She hit several trees and was thrown from the vehicle. Her husband was partially ejected and pinned under the vehicle. Both were taken to the hospital and remain in serious and critical condition. The children, both under 10, were not injured. 2 men are recovering after police say they stabbed each other last night. It happened around 11:30 last night in the 1000 block of Millvid Avenue. That's where police say the men started fighting in the middle of the street over a woman and drugs, which eventually led to both men pulling out knives. One man was taken to University Hospital in critical condition with stab wounds to his chest and face. Officers are still investigating to figure out who will face charges in the incident. The debate over a COVID relief package continues in Washington, while across the country, the race is on to vaccinate Americans. The CDC says while nearly 50 million doses of authorized vaccines have been distributed, just over 31 million have been administered.
West Virginia's rollout of the vaccine is considered a success, with 83% of that state's vaccines already having been distributed. Here's ABC's Zorin Shah with the details.
The debate over President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package continues in Washington. The president had hoped for bipartisan support, but on Friday, seeming to indicate he's willing to move ahead without it.
The COVID relief has to pass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
10 GOP senators have sent a letter to the White House asking for a meeting to discuss a compromise.
We've received the letter, and we certainly will be reviewing it over the course of the day.
The GOP's proposal is about a third of what Biden is calling for.
With regard to the direct payments, we think they should be much more targeted. $50,000 cap for individuals, as an example, $100,000 for a family.
But Senator Bernie Sanders believes Democrats can get it done, even without bipartisan support.
Hard for me to imagine any Democrat who doesn't understand the need to go forward right now in an aggressive way to protect the working families.
Meanwhile, the push to get Americans vaccinated continues. Many waiting in line for hours, others struggling to get an appointment.
I have never, ever gone through anything like this.
Some say these challenges with the vaccine rollout are not surprising.
Our public health system has been underfunded for decades. And the idea that the public health system can stand up that quickly to do something on this scale is something that just can't happen.
West Virginia's rollout of the vaccine considered a success, helped by the logistics capabilities of the National Guard. As vials of the vaccines arrive in the state, within hours they are sent to local drugstores and health clinics.
We had to take the vaccines to the people rather than bring the people to the vaccine.
Zorin Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Back here at home, we want to let you know about a drive-through produce giveaway for seniors. Health Texas is holding the giveaway tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Pika Pika Plaza Event Center. That is in the 900 block of Southeast Military Drive. The bags will be filled with vegetables, corn, vegetables like corn, green cabbage, zucchini, squash, and also potatoes, plus some fruit. The bags will be handed out until they're all gone. But if you want to guarantee yourself one of those bags, you can RSVP. Just call 210-731-4864. Still to come on the news at 5:30. Super Bowl Sunday just 1 week away. After the break, we'll tell you why experts are predicting game time snacking will be at an all-time high. We'll be right back.
Well, Toys R Us is closing its stores again. Only 2 locations were left in the U.S. after True Kids Incorporated bought the retailer in a 2018 liquidation sale. The company says locations in New Jersey and Texas are permanently closing because of the pandemic. While True Kids now plans to focus on other platforms, it says the Toys R Us website remains operational and more than 700 stores outside the U.S. are still open.
Snack giant Frito-Lay estimates that there will be a 21% increase in snacking during this year's Super Bowl. It comes amid an expectation for smaller gatherings as more fans plan to view the game at home this year. The company takes the data from its U.S. Snack Index 1, a poll on consumer snacking habits. The index also found that upwards of 40% of Americans are snacking more than they did in 2020. I can agree to that. That's to meet the anticipated demand. The company is pumping out more than 70 million pounds of snacks in the week leading up to the game. That's a lot of Doritos and hot Cheetos.
Snacking is where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not surprised that has increased. Not at all, yeah. That's thankfully something not canceled in 2021, Super Bowl snacks. Thank goodness. Beautiful day out there today. I mean, absolutely perfect. This is the kind of day you wish you could bottle the weather up and take it with you all through the year. Absolutely wonderful. And really things will be nice for the next few days. And we'll talk about what you can expect this work and school week coming up in just a couple of minutes. But first, checking on the aquifer, down just 1/10 of a foot in the past 24 hours. And in the pollen count, mold is low. Mountain cedar moderate. We could see that mountain cedar count jump tomorrow. We'll talk about that and get you your full forecast coming up next.
Beautiful day to get outside and enjoy all that sunshine.
Yeah, no kidding. It makes me forget it's January. We deserve these types of days.
I know. It's so wonderful. This is why we live in Texas, right? For this January.
Considering what's happening to our north.
Exactly.
Yes. Wait till you see how cold it is in other parts of the country. You'll be extra thankful for our 70-degree weather today here at home. A look at today's time lapse. Beautiful sunshine from start to finish today. And take a look at our almanac. 47 our morning low. That's pretty close to average, but our high today of 73, that's nearly 10 degrees above average for this time of year. And here's something fun in the almanac. The coldest it's ever been on this day, 0 degrees. That was our morning low back in 1949. I'll take 73. I don't know about you. Out there right now, very comfortable. We've got upper 70s down to the south, pushing 80 in places like Laredo and Cotulla, 71 in New Braunfels, low 60s in the hill country. Our air is very dry. Dew points are low in the 20s and 30s, so very comfortable out there. We have had a bit of a breeze in place today. North winds behind yesterday's frontal boundary have been about 10 to 20 miles per hour. As we get past sunset, wind speeds will gradually taper off just a bit, but this evening and overnight, wind speeds will hang out in the 5 to 15 mile per hour range. So not quite as breezy as it was today, but still a little bit of a breeze, especially this evening. And then tomorrow, wind speeds during the day will really start to relax. Now, you saw today's Mountain Cedar count. It was moderate with a count of 250. But because we've had those breezy north winds in place today, I'm afraid we could see an elevated count or a higher count of Mountain Cedar on Monday. Now, it won't be quite so breezy tomorrow, so that should allow the count to fall a little bit into Tuesday, even more so into Wednesday. So Mountain Cedar could make you frown on Monday, but it should get a little bit better toward the middle of the week. At least that's our kind of outlook for Mountain Cedar over the next couple of days. Something to keep in mind as we head toward the end of Mountain Cedar season. It starts to taper off mid-February around Valentine's Day, so we are getting closer and closer to the end, hopefully. A beautiful day all across Texas. Plenty of sunshine across the Lone Star State, but very active weather well off to our east and northeast. Some snow from the Great Lakes all the way over to the Mid-Atlantic and northeast. Look at these temperatures. We're at 70. Miami and Orlando did beat us out today. They're a little bit warmer. Look how cold it is. Chicago 32, 24 in New York, and they're in the teens way up in the northeast there. So yes, extra thankful for our beautiful weather here today. And things are going to stay pretty quiet over the next few days. We'll actually have upper level high pressure moving in over Texas through the middle of the week. That'll bring some high thin clouds in over the next couple of days, but overall plenty of sunshine through the middle of the week. Now, as we get past Wednesday, back half of this work and school week, that's when things will start to change just a little bit. Don't get too excited though. This upper level low, we'll have to watch how quickly it can move to the east. That will bring our next frontal boundary through. It does look like that will be late Thursday into Friday, so we'll see a nice little cool down after being near 80 Thursday afternoon. Some upper 60s start of next weekend, maybe even high temperatures limited to the 50s this time next weekend. My little thing popped out of my ear. Sorry about that. So we'll keep an eye on that next frontal boundary for you. In the meantime, next few days, really nice. It will be cold to start the day tomorrow. Light freeze possible in portions of the hill country. We'll go a low temperature right around 40 here in San Antonio. And then tomorrow afternoon, mid to upper 60s across the board. It'll be another very nice day tomorrow to start the work and school week. I wish we had better rain chances in the forecast. That's really the only thing we can complain about here over the next week, guys.
At least it's not 30.
Yes.
Could always be worse. All right, Andrew, the Spurs saw their win streak snapped at home last night, but they got one of the key pieces back.
That's right. Derek White has been out of the lineup since January 1st. Last night was his first game back since a fractured toe. When we come back, we talk about his performance and how he picked up right where he left off. Plus, Texas A&M's Kellen Mond reflects on a great season after adding an exclamation point yesterday in the Senior Bowl. Next.
What did you see on the defensive end of the floor that led to you guys' struggles there tonight?
No, I'm not going to do a clinic for you. We got outplayed.
Bob keeping it short as usual. Spurs had a tough time last night in the second game of back-to-back against the Grizzlies in big board sports. The Spurs ran into an offensive buzzsaw last night. 24 hours after shutting down the Denver Nuggets in a pivotal fourth quarter, San Antonio couldn't stop the red-hot Grizz and their fresh legs in a 129-112 loss. The good news is that Derek White is back in the lineup. The point guard didn't miss a beat and dropped a team-high 18 points in his first game back since fracturing his toe back on January 1st. So how did he feel about his performance?
I'm feeling good. Don't have a broken toe this time, so that's cool. But I feel good, just trying to get my legs underneath me. Feel like I haven't played in a while. So just try to get my legs back underneath me.
Derek being Derek, taking charges, knocking down the easy shots, being aggressive, helping find his teammates. That's what we expect. He's not warmed up. He's ready right now.
Now, the Western Conference is ridiculously competitive this year. Last night's loss dropped the Spurs from 4th to 9th in the standings. 5 teams find themselves a half game behind the now 4th-place Nuggets. So San Antonio is itching for round 2 against Memphis on Monday night.
It's kind of like the playoffs, and you just got to make the right adjustments and come back and play better the next time.
I think myself personally, I know DeJounte, DeMar, pretty much almost everyone on the team. We're going to watch film tonight. Probably most of us won't even be able to sleep at night. So tomorrow morning is a new day. We are self-reflect, see what we got to improve on, and then focus on playing them the next game.
Same two teams back at it again on Monday night at 7:30. And a quick note, the Spurs have assigned rookie Trey Jones to the Austin Spurs. He's played in 9 games this season. San Antonio native Kellen Mond certainly improved his draft stock at yesterday's Reese's Senior Bowl. The Aggies' all-time leading passer was named the game's most valuable player. He finished 13 of 25 for 173 yards and threw a pair of touchdowns in the third quarter, giving his team the lead. It's an exclamation point to a remarkable senior season in which he led the Aggies to the 5th overall ranking and an Orange Bowl victory. And after the game, Mond took some time to reflect.
I mean, it's been amazing. Just kind of evaluating throughout the off season, and just trying to find the best version of me, and just kind of getting away from my junior year, and just really all about growth and all aspects of life. So it's been a huge blessing, and I've had a lot of great people around me.
The NFL draft is still currently on schedule. It will kick off in Cleveland on April 29th.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
So there are a lot of question marks around the Texans organization, namely whether the two faces of the franchise, Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt, will still be in Houston next year. The one thing we do know is that H-Town is starting their rebuild with almost zero draft stock. And new head coach David Culley has his work cut out for him. Some have questioned whether he's qualified to lead the Texans next season, or even whether he was hired strictly because he was a minority candidate. Culley doesn't see it that way.
I don't feel like I'm the head coach here at the Houston Texans because I'm a minority. I feel like I'm the head coach here with the Houston Texans because the McNair family and Nick, with a collaborative effort, felt like I was the best guy for the job. What does that mean? That means that David Culley was the best hire for this job, for this family and this franchise, who just happens to be African American. And that's how I look at that.
Meanwhile, Super Sunday is 1 week from today down in South Florida, and unlike most years, it's going to be pretty quiet until the actual game kicks off. Typically, both teams would be flying to the host city today, and that's not really a problem for the Buccaneers since they are the first team to host the Super Bowl in NFL history. But the Chiefs won't arrive in Tampa until the end of the week. So what would a quiet, toned-down week leading into the Super Bowl be like? KSAT 12 Sports caught up with former Ravens head coach and Super Bowl champ Brian Billick to get his feedback.
The biggest thing when you play in a Super Bowl that you have to address is, okay, how will my guys handle the week? Because it's like no week you've ever been a part of. With all the distraction and the activities and whatever, you want to get back to normal as quick as you can. Well, this is about as normal as you can get. Kansas City's not even coming in until Friday or Saturday. Tampa Bay, but so since there's not going to be all the surrounding hoopla, these teams are going to be able to get on familiar footing very quickly during the week, which is a good thing. And so I think it's going to lend itself to being the best game that we can have.
You can hear more from Coach Billick tonight on Instant Replay as he talks Cowboys, Texans, and X-Tech, the shoulder pad company used by the NFL, NCAA, and even some Texas high schools. The future of safety for players is part of the company he invested in over 8 years ago.
We wanted this for so long, but I think it was sort of a thing that we all knew what we were capable of. We knew that we worked really hard the whole season. And I think we all just went believing that, we could do it.
And for the first time in their 36-year history, the Health Careers girls swim team has won a district title. I got a chance to catch up with Phoenix about what it felt like to break through. Their story is also tonight on Instant Replay. We got a jam-packed show for you guys, so be sure to tune in.
Always. We'll look forward to it. Thank you, Andrew.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
A little cooler the next couple of days, highs in the 60s, but we'll be back in the mid to upper 70s by Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe a few sprinkles Thursday, but that's about it as far as rain goes.
Almost 80 on Thursday. We'll take it. That is all of our time for now. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here for the Night Beat tonight at 10.
Have a good evening.